Greetings from Northumberland on the 22nd of February. It's a brightish morning after a dry night, and as I woke up this morning I read the news as I always do, and of course two stories dominate the news for us this morning. One is the announcement by the Prime Minister of an end to all COVID restrictions, and basically the message that it's up to us to take what precautions we feel are best. And secondly, the situation in the Ukraine. These two things dominate our news, and probably at the moment the front pages of the newspaper reflect more the COVID situation than the Ukraine. But when I read these two things and thought of the people I know, I thought, how do you describe this situation? And there is a word in English called febrile. It's a word that we don't use very often, but it's a powerful word. It comes from the same root as the word fever, and we all know what a fever is. And what febrile sort of means is that there is a tension, there is an anxiety, there is the running of concern and maybe over concern, and there is a whole situation that we don't know whether it will stay in control. It's charged with danger, it's charged with anxiety, and for some people it's charged with genuine fear. And I think that's where we are at the moment. We're like that with COVID because many people are afraid, because of their own illnesses, that the restrictions, but also the supports for people who are ill, are being taken away. It's lovely to feel that we can live without restrictions again, but we recognise that those restrictions brought with them the support of testing and the support of pay for those who were unable to go to work. So there will be a mixture of feelings about those things, and certainly in our churches here we've decided to continue in the same pattern up till Easter and then think about what we do. So we think about the people, particularly today, the vulnerable, and we pray for them. And then we come to the Ukraine. Putin's armies have gone into certain parts of the Ukraine, seemingly on a peacekeeping mission, and you know from the way I say that word that I think it's a ruse. They've gone to support ethnic Russians, some of whom do want to separate from the Ukraine, although they live in the Ukraine and are part of the Ukraine. And the Russian and the Ukrainian mix has always been severe there. And at the same time, Putin speaks about the way in which the Ukraine can never regard itself to be a proper country, harking back to both Tsarist and Soviet days of oppression. And people in Latvia and Lithuania and other Baltic states will also feel afraid today. And how does the West react? How do we react as a government? No one wants all-out war, but we do have the ability to exercise sanctions against this aggression. And particularly the focus will be on our government, because we know that a lot of Russian money is around in London, and a lot of Russian money has been donated to political parties. Can we uphold the rule of law? Will the rule of law be important to our Prime Minister and to our government? It is a sombre day with many questions. And we have to also ask ourselves how we will operate alongside our allies in Europe, from whom we have taken ourselves away, and whether NATO will be strong enough with its European, British and American interests to come together and support sanctions against aggression. It it is truly a febrile day. What do the scriptures say to us? The scriptures speak about simplicity. Jesus in St. Mark's Gospel talks about having a childlike faith in God and not seeking human power. And in the letter of James today, these are words that James says to his readers. God opposes the proud, gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Today we must commit ourselves again to faith and to the resistance of evil, and pray for those who feel weak and vulnerable either because of their health or of their geopolitical fragility. Sorry, it's been a long reflection, but it's a very hard day for so many people, and we pray for them and for the peoples of Ukraine. May God bless us all.